Look, Katie, it's brilliant to have you on the podcast today, and it's a subject that I've been wanting to cover for a long time. Really, I want to be talking about the PR, the new rules to PR, and the
Yeah.
digital. So much has changed, hasn't it? And
All the secrets. You want all my
I
secrets.
want those hidden secrets. I so do. But your CV of PR is pretty impressive. Just give
Thank you.
our listeners just some of the people that you look after.
So we have Miss Sophia Hilton, who you may or may not have heard
Yeah,
of.
I'm sure they may know of her. Do you reckon they might?
Maybe. And obviously her gorgeous salon, Not Another. And then we have Innerlux and Crazy Colour, who are also associated with Miss Sophia. It's a very incestual family that I have. But basically, PR, it means public relations. And everything that is public facing, that is to do with a person or a brand, that falls under the PR category. So the range of stuff that we can cover with that is absolutely massive, and so hard to define. It's no longer like just traditional press. It's influencers, it's social media, it's campaigns, it's positioning, it's brand associations, it's contracts, it's everything. I think it gets to a stage where you can't do it all. Like, you just can't do it all. You can get to a point, but whether it's a time constraint or a knowledge constraint or just the fact that you don't have the contacts or the know-how, you will reach a stage as a person or as a brand where you're going to need someone to help you, and you're going to need a PR perspective, because that's what I bring, I think, a lot to my clients is a different perspective. Like, I will always think of it in a PR way. I'm not going to think of it as a hairdresser or as the MD of a product company. I'll always be a PR first, and sometimes you need that separate angle that comes in. So I think it's actually way simpler when you dedicate some brain cells to it. And it's just a case of establishing what you want. Like, what do I want from this? Like, if you are a salon, like 9 times out of 10, you don't just want your salon to be known for fun. Like, you want new clients, or you want to be supported by the bigger brands, or you want to be more appealing for a certain reason. It's never just, oh, I just want more Instagram followers just for fun. So you have to really establish what you want. I think this is a conversation I have with hairdressers a lot, because hairdressers often, and they don't know they're doing it, only think as far as the hair industry. So if you're PRing yourself as a hairdresser, you're like, do you want to talk to only other hairdressers, or are you trying to reach clients? Like, who are you talking to and why? Like, are you talking to Susan down the road? Is she going to come and have her hair done at your salon? Or do you want to reach Mrs. Jane who's sitting at home? Because Mrs. Jane sitting at home doesn't even know what Hairdresser's Journal is, because she's not a hairdresser. So if you're a hairdresser trying to raise your profile, for what though? Because I guarantee you it's to get more clients. So yes, there is pressure of creating content, but you're probably one of the only industries in the world that have 10 to 50 models of every shape, size, age, race. You have an army of the most diverse models sitting in your business every single day that you can use for content. Like, if you're a product, a bottle of shampoo, you have no models, you have no life, you have to bring that to life. So that content is arguably 10 times harder than maybe a salon owner or a hairdresser who has, as I say, access to new models every single day.
Why don't we use those models? Why don't
Because
we
I don't
use
think people see it in that way. I
why
don't
don't
think
why
people
don't you
see it in
think
that
people
way.
see it in that way?
Because I think it's something to do with hairdresser shoots, like your British Hairdresser of the Year entry, for example. I think we have an age old, almost like ingrained in our mind that shooting or content always has to be this look a certain way. Like if we're gonna see someone as a model, it's because it's a model that we've hired from an agency who are paying and we have a big shoot and a big photographer. But I think if you just flip it around and just think of every single client as a model, your perspective is just completely changed. But I think hairdressers see shoots in a certain way. I think it's just asking the hard questions. Like being around yes people all the time is not helpful. You need to be around critical thinkers. Jez says all the time, like literally every time he introduces me to someone, he says that my favorite word is no. And it is, because if it's not good enough, or I don't think it's a good idea, then we're not going to waste time or energy on it. And I think sometimes when you're a human being, it can feel, sometimes that's painful to hear because it's almost like I'm not good enough or my talent isn't good enough. But if you just look at it subjectively, that's not the case. All we're trying to do is find the core of who you are, why you're authentic, why you're special, because no one else can copy that. No one can take that from you. That is the only thing that you have in this life that is unique. So you can do the most beautiful balayage all day long, but if you're not in touch with who you are, and if you can't convey that, then it's not going anywhere because it's different. It's
Why is
inherently
Sophia
different
different? Why is she different?
because she's not afraid. She's very brave. She's really brave. And she understands as well that she's a human being. So she's not trying to be this perfect version of who we think Sophia Hilton is. She's just showing us Sophia Hilton. And that comes with the good and the bad. And that is part, I think, of what makes a person special is showing everything. Um, and she has done that throughout her entire career.
Do you feel that there is too much safety then from people? They play safe.
1,000%. And I think there's also sometimes there's a little bit of showboating. Like, this is what we think you want to see. Like, this is what cool looks like in my mind. So, this is what I'm projecting to you. But I think we can just see through that. Like, people are really savvy now to the fact when people are not being authentic. The word influencer has changed massively, even in just the last like 5 years. If we think about influencers 5 to 10 years ago, they were people who maybe were slightly weird. Like they were the people who just wanted to sit on their own and be on the internet and not really connect in real life. And they would take like a makeup influencer, for example, they would rather sit at home and share the lipsticks that they loved on the internet rather than going to clubs like all of the cool kids were back, 10 years ago. So they were kind of like the weirdos and the outcasts previously. Now we've evolved. Oh, how we've evolved to the point where it's not cool to be in the club anymore. It's cool to be on YouTube or be on Instagram and have these followers. Um, but a lot of the time, it's because these people who were our weirdos who loved the internet back in the day, they've now grown to the point where some of them are like multimillionaires, absolute crazy wealth, amazing lifestyle. Like we've all seen the influencer houses and the cars and the bags. And it's become about that lifestyle. It's almost become a get rich quick scheme. like, oh, I'll just become an influencer and I'll just get loads of followers and I don't have to do anything all day. I just have to sit on the internet and make a story or make a post, and then I can just buy my mansion and buy
But
my
but does it not work
Ferrari.
like that?
No. It's not like, one of the things that I say in my video is one of the worst things you can do is treat it as a get rich quick scheme. Like, if that is your mentality from the start, like, it's not going to happen for you because everyone will see that. Like, you can only show so many like layers of fakeness. Like, people are just going to figure it out.